Like, culture is an ever-changing thing. Like, look, compare people from 100 years ago and to us now. The past would be appalled at us, and we'd be appalled at them.
They call us abominations
Yep, or heathens, non-believers, yada yada, and we'd do the same.
based on what they believe in and how they actually carry themselves.
Culture is like our civilization is us as a people more than what we believe in.
All right.
It's how we live.
Well, if you're
So
going
that
that way, I got something for you. So, I have an idea that I'm going to throw at you right now about the DLC and what I think would be. I mean, it's just my little opinion, but I think this would be amazing. And here goes. What if the builders got a new addition where you start as a group of people surrounded by um, individuals walking with you as a massive vehicle you are in is traversing the Frostland looking for somewhere to settle. And this vehicle is called a land dreadnought,
mm,
and you are in the land dreadnought moving across the Frostland looking for somewhere to either build a new city or just to scavenge for resources and beat the next oncoming storm. What do you think about that?
I think they could do it.
I mean, I'm saying, you have the ability to have a moving city where the land dreadnought is the home of the people, and you have to construct a wall around it if you want to keep living with the land dreadnought, or you can have it as like an escape vehicle or a scouting vehicle after a while and set up a city.
Hmm.
What do you think about
Have
that?
to totally like. Then unfortunately have to redesign the whole game.
That's not possible. Or
Yeah,
or is it?
there are limitations.
Or is
There's
it?
limitations on what they can do. A game can only go so far. Keep your ideas realistic. Like I could see them like, do you wish to leave this city to make a new one? Yes, an endless city builder. I could see that, but I cannot see where you're setting up in an area with a dreadnought and then you just pack up and leave.
But it's impossible.
It would be difficult to program it.
What if I told you they kinda did in a smaller fashion? Would you believe me?
Possibly. Are
You
you hiding something out about the Reconquered DLC from me?
No, I'm not. Remember, I don't work at 11-bit Studios, but there are clues in the game itself. You remember the last autumn where after you build the hunter's hut slash scout what is it now location, you can set up somewhere in the Frostland and send back resources.
Uh-huh.
So here's what I think. Uh, what they could do to get around a lot of the pressure is just have the land dreadnought as the city itself or a location where you can visit, and then you only see the vehicle moving in the Frostland larger map. That
I
saves
could
a
see that
that's
happen.
that saves a lot of programming and it doesn't break anything.
True. And the Dreadnought move a lot faster around the Frostlands.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So I'm thinking Reconquest. What I think would be very cool is if in Reconquest people can decide if they want to set up a city. And if they don't want to set up a city, they can be nomadic with a large land dreadnought, traveling through the Frostland, collecting resources, scavenging, and moving along. And you can come.
And the trade system would be established. People would establish trade routes and everything.
There you go. So then you might come across New London as an AI city, or Winterhome. No, Winterhome would be like a wrecked city or a Tesla city, and you could decide that I'm gonna scavenge this location, and then as soon as
Or rebel.
yeah, and as soon as you get there, like some scouts catch you and they're like, "We are from this city. You are entering into our territory," and something like that. And it says you can choose to fight them, or you can choose to leave them alone, or you can choose to trade resources with them.
Yeah, I'd trade resources with them.
So that's
I'd
what
go after the steam cores all the time.
I'm, because I'm thinking like, um, this could change up how let's see. This could change up.
Oh, and you can like, we need help, please help us, send us resources. We need help, please. We're here prepared. And you can help them or not.
Yes, there you go, there you go. Or
Because like, remember the Ark mission did that.
yes, they did. The Ark mission did do that, and they sent, and then I mean they could use the scout automatons and all that crazy tech that they had. And I mean, you put scout
Yep.
automatons on a land dreadnought with what I can't the crawler type vehicle that they have in Endless could also be on the land dreadnought. So you wouldn't have to bring the land dreadnought close to the city. You could just have that crawler act as like a transportation vehicle, and you could request resources from them. And so they need help, and you have resources. You send them some, they send you some, and then when somebody on the radio says, "Captain, the storm is coming," you can just hightail it out of there and go somewhere else. You see what I'm getting at?
True.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
that would make things a lot more complicated. Because you'd have to feed the machine with resources, you'd have to scavenge for food, and you'd also have to,
Resources to build infirmaries, living quarters for people, yada yada.
yeah, bunk beds and all sorts of stuff, and upgrade the infirmary inside the vehicle. And I mean, if you get to Tesla City, you could send in. Remember when I was telling you about that encampment thing that they had in Endless? Not Endless, in the last
Uh-huh.
autumn. You could send the crawler with a team of scouts and some engineers, and the scouts would disable or dismantle some parts of the Tesla City. Then the engineers would go in and recover some of the equipment for the electronic force field that Tesla was using, and you could cover the superstructure of the land dreadnought in that electronic force field while it's in the area, and that would allow you to stay in the same position during the storm.
Yeah, I can see that. But would burn a lot of coal.
That's the whole point. You'd have to gather a lot of coal for at least 5 or 6 days. And then after
Uh,
5 or 6 days, and then after you'd have to
is this
research.
gonna be like a shield like in Atlantis where the lava, like Atlantis, the Lost Empire, where the lava just built over like the shield that the lava was solidified, and the lava eventually just stayed there
I
until
think I'm thinking a bit.
or does the snow or does the snow melt?
The snow melts, but I'm thinking that that's a little bit too what's the word? That's a little bit too out of the ordinary. I'm thinking more along the lines of like force fields that are.
Yeah, but
But when
basically the snow would build up on the force shield, and then after it would just fall in, bury everything, and then you just drive the dreadnought out of there.
well, that's interesting. I mean, that's possible. I mean, oh, like a coil that would come up and everybody would go inside and stay in the land dreadnought for the entire storm period. That's what you mean.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
you are. Well, I mean, if that You're making me answer. Hey, man, don't do that. I mean, if that was
It's a lazy day for me, and I'm being lazy.
right,
Like
guy.
right now, I'm spread out, lying on my clean floor. Or
Mm-hmm.
for future reference, I don't wear shoes in my house.
A lot of people don't. There's nothing wrong with that.
Actually, you'll be surprised how many people do. Like in my apartment place, if I find like 8 to 9 people wear shoes in their house,
Mm-hmm.
like their carpets are stained black, and I'm like, wow, you people, you don't appreciate a good clean carpet. Like you probably stepped in dog poop and you're walking around in your house with your shoes on.
That's a bad thing in this coronavirus time. You got to be more careful.
Yeah, I'm kind of a clean freak.
So,
Like, also, I live in an apartment, and I think my landlord is secretly kissing me for it. Like, they're still gonna probably steam clean the carpets when I leave, but that won't be until probably either I depart this world or I'm forced to move out due to a fucking rent increase.
that could be it. But I'm thinking more along
But
along the lines of like in terms of the force field. I'm thinking
what were we talking about? Like, I was talking about how clean my house is and how my landlord
we
secretly
we were we were
likes
t-
me.
we were talking about the we were talking about the generator force field, and what I'm
Oh
saying,
yeah.
yeah, and what I'm saying is that I'm thinking of something that would hug the hull of the vehicle. So I'm not.
Oh, so it's like it's just like a force shield like keeps the the thing from being frozen over.
Yeah, and by having that force field around it, it would reduce the amount of coal that you'd have to use to keep the inhabitants warm. But the twist to it is that you can only use that if the vehicle is stationary. So if the vehicle isn't stationary, you can't use it, and it can only be used in the it can only be used during the storm or when the temperature falls below 90 or 80. So if it goes lower than that, then you can activate it, or it will automatically be activated, and then you'd have to find a way to allow people. You have to create an entrance that allow people to come inside and out of the vehicle without being shocked by the force field. So you'd have to manage all of that, and then you'd have to gather enough resources before the storm starts. That's
And
it.
endure, yeah, I know, endless cycle, yada yada.
Mm-hmm. So that,
Yeah, pretty much. Much. We don't know what the Reconquer will be like at the
nobody
end of the
knows.
day.
That's the real thing that I'm really saying. I'm saying
But
nobody
my
knows.
theory is it's gonna be building a generator in the middle of London after the panic. Oh, the bodies. I wonder what they're gonna do with all the dead bodies.
What they do with what they always do with dead bodies, bury them.
Yeah, or put them in the stacks or cremate them. But there's gonna be a lot of frozen dead people in London.
Probably, but then again, we don't know if London still exists.
Who knows? We really don't.
So what I'm really saying is that yeah, it could be a case where um the city might there might be some elements about the city that still exists. But in real essence, New London could, for all we know, actually be gone completely. Not New London, London itself. London could be gone completely.
Buried in the mountain of snow, but eventually they could like generator down there and just belt it free for the most part.
And the thing is, again, I say, it depends on if it is even accessible. Because remember, the frostland covers everything, and after a while, the ice becomes so thick that you'd have to literally be digging for days. I'd say at least 40 days to actually get to the ground level. So after that first initial or after that last evacuation from London, ain't nobody gonna be able to find the old London because that is either covered completely in snow or worse, it's
1 second.
oh, I heard that.
Hello, Mario. My cat. I got my cat.
Yeah. So I'm saying it's either a case where it's completely covered over in snow that is so thick that you can't reach it, or the area itself you wouldn't be able to find it. Because remember, once the beacon went out in Winterhome, the scouts couldn't find the city, and on the train that was left from TLA, the last
Right.
autumn's area, they couldn't find it. So I mean, if they can't find Winterhome with the beacon going out, what makes anybody think that they'll be able to find the old city of London? For all we know, you decide to go in that direction, and you end up like this.
Maps, old map systems, and simple old-fashioned uh, direction and stuff like that.
Yeah, but remember, if they say the Frostland is a desert, right? We know that when it comes to desert, sometimes everything looks the same.
Yeah, but technically, Antarctic isn't a desert. It's just a frozen wasteland.
Well, yeah.
Desert by definition is a place that does not get a lot of rainfall or precipitation, but we get a lot of snow.
That's
We get
true.
a,
And
so
I'm
I
using the
feel
word in a
like
different
a
context. Huh?
desert is not an uh, accurate evaluation of the land.
Well,
Like
well,
frozen wasteland is more accurate, actually.
well. In that case, then I have to agree with you on that. It's more of a frozen wasteland in that sense. However, I mean, it's still be virtually impossible to find that, even if you had old maps, because everywhere is gonna kind of look the same. You might see
Yeah,
something. You might see
I
like,
I, uh, I think Big Ben would be seenable.
huh?
Big Ben.
Yes. And if Big Ben is, if only the tip of Big Ben is visible, then that should tell you that it's probably not gonna be likely that you'll be able to um actually get anywhere, because even if you decide to go in that direction, who knows if the ground there is stable, and whether or not you trying to traverse over that area, you could fall into a sinkhole or something. We don't know. And for
London was like, oh man, there was a lot of complicated things during that time that happened. The sanitation movement, which added the city sewer system, happened during that time. There's so many other things that happened
so so so
during this.
so I mean, yes, it's possible that they could go back there. Who knows? I mean, at this
Did you
point,
know they? What was it? I think what they. During the sanitation movement, they lifted an entire city a feet up so they could put the sewer system in. Literally lifted an entire city up to build the sewer system.
hmm, makes
I
sense.
found that fascinating.
I
I
mean,
forget the city name. I think it was Detroit or something like that.
well,
It was one of the older cities.
how I
But they
see.
lifted it up, like put it on stilts, and basically built a sewer system there.
Well, oh yes, that's been done before. How I see it, is whatever you have to do, whatever is necessary in order to allow things to work out. So, but we
But
don't we
yeah, there is a lot of factors that could be played in. The sewer system would probably be long since frozen over the completely.
and the sewer systems would not be as large as as
You could fit a person in there for sure. Like you could walk standing up in London sewer system. Trust me, that's how the sewer system works. Like,
true.
have you ever seen London sewer systems?
No, I haven't seen it up close, but I'm
I've
sure.
seen it in pictures, so London will be interesting. There's like this is during the steampunk era, so the train system was built to get
Hmm.
around London. So it's gonna be a fascinating thing if they actually do explore London that way.
That'd be